Hey, it's Davis, and welcome to this video where I'm going to show you one of my favorite desserts. It's a dessert that I use to not only help drive down my blood sugar, help control my bad cholesterol, right? At the same time, it helps me with my brain, my heart, and my eyes. I had to think about that for a second. Yes, all three of those, all with dessert while controlling my blood sugar. And I also use it as one of my absolute favorite insurance policies when I'm gonna go ahead and eat, or maybe even be just a little bit human like the rest of us. All right, so anyways, let's get right up to it. Boom! Okay, so real quick, there are two secrets to this thing, and I'll tell you what it is right now. It is chia seed pudding, okay? And one of the beautiful things that I absolutely love about chia seed pudding is that it is extremely forgiving and easy to play with. So let me tell you right now the two key secrets to the world's best, or at least the best or awesomest or whatever chia seed pudding recipe ever, okay? Here we go, there's two of them, okay? Number one is that whenever it comes to dessert, okay, everyone's taste, you'll notice, everyone's taste is just a little bit different, right? Some people like it really rich. Some people like it a little sweeter. Some people like it fatty and rich and sweet and whatever, right? So here's the deal. The wonderful thing about chia seed pudding is that because it is so forgiving, okay, because it's so forgiving, we can literally start mixing in the ingredients now, like as we're making it, and test as we're making it, okay? And the beautiful thing is that the chia seeds don't have to be fully absorbed. Okay, since the chia seeds are pretty much they have like no flavor whatsoever, we can actually perfect the flavor before letting it sit. Okay, now because this is a cinnamon chocolate dessert, the version that I'm making, what I would suggest right now, let me tell you right now, is that I would actually start light on the cocoa powder. Okay, the raw cacao powder. Yes, it's phenomenal. There's all these wonderful, benefits to it. Okay, like, antioxidant benefits, stuff like that. At the same time, if you've ever tried like baking cocoa and stuff like that, you'll notice if you taste it straight up, it's pretty bitter, right? So start small, and you can always add more as you like. Okay, secret number two. Secret number two is because chia seed is also very, very forgiving. Okay. I'll notice, at least for me, whenever I play with a lot of these recipes that I'll find online, is that a lot of times they're a lot looser than I actually like. A lot of them are kind of watery, and I'm kind of like, and for a while it kind of like left a bad taste in my mouth, okay? Awesome thing here is that because it's so forgiving, all we can do, okay, or one of the things that we can do is go ahead and make it, okay, kind of like, make sure, number one, that the flavor is good. At the same time, if we put some stuff in there, or we just let it sit for like 6 to 8 hours, and we don't like the consistency, no worries. All we can do, if it's a little runny, take a handful of chia seeds, right? And then just mix it around, hang out for like another 6 to 8 hours, bingo, right? At the same time, hey, if it's a little bit tight, a little too tight or whatever, no worries. Throw a little more liquid in there. You'll actually find out here in a second which ones do which, so you can get that flavor down or whatever, no worries, right? Hey, but if it's a little bit tight, a little bit extra liquid, stir it on up, let it sit for another 6 to 8 hours, maybe stir it somewhere in between, just to make sure it's the consistency that you like, and bingo. So let's get on to the start of the show. Starting with the obvious, right? We've got this stuff here, chia seeds. This stuff is phenomenal, high in fiber, protein, and omega-3s. Omega-3s are phenomenal for the brain, the heart, and the eyes, okay? At the same time, chia seeds both help lower and control blood sugar, as well as help lower bad cholesterol. And because it's packed with all this fiber, it helps us clean all the residual, juju that we might have floating around in the system, right? So phenomenal way to kind of clean the plumbing, right, as well while we're eating some good old-fashioned dessert, okay? So this is star number one. Star number two is going to be this stuff here, okay? Cinnamon. Whenever we go to some of these diabetic, nutritional places, or even like at the supplement counter for diabetics, you see cinnamon pills, okay? All I'm really doing is I'm just, not only do I sprinkle it, on top, but I also have a little bit mixed inside, okay? In fact, this is one of my absolute favorite defense, walls of defense that I play. If I know that I'm going to eat out, if I eat a little, be a little human once in a while or whatever, if I know I'm going to a place where I might slip a little bit, right? Because we're all human, I'll eat some of this stuff before I go. Why? Because I want to line my stomach and get this stuff working in my system with a whole little foundation with cinnamon all up in there to help me both lower and control my blood sugar before I even take another bite of outside food. Okay, so this stuff is awesome. I think I got this entire thing for like $2 or $3 at Costco, right? Which is really odd because if you buy it in pill form, it's like $17 or whatever. But hey, whatever. God bless them, right? What are you gonna do? The other powerhouse we're using here is right here. Okay, cacao. Okay, this cacao powder, extremely high in antioxidant properties. Okay, really, really, really high. At the same time, this obviously is the foundation for chocolate. Okay. And yeah, that is pretty much that. I mean, I don't want to get too into it. Obviously, you can do a lot of research looking online for or at the benefits of chia seeds, looking at the benefits of raw cacao powder, and especially cinnamon for type 2 diabetics, right? At the same time, let's get into some really cool meat and potatoes. Now, there's another thing that really makes this whole thing work, okay? And it's this stuff here, okay? Coconut milk. Ironically, I used to travel to some of these Asian stores to get this particular brand. Now it's actually available at the local stores, okay? And even if you can't get this particular brand or even this other one I'm going to show you here in a second, let me show you the secret. Right here, okay? So what we want to do is we want to pay respect to this monkey right here, okay? How much sugar is in this thing? Okay, because if I'm saying, hey, look, there's 5 total, 5 servings in here, 2 grams per, that's 10. That can be a good amount of, like, that's a lot of sugar for a type 2 diabetic, right? Depending on their system. However, in the same breath, because I'm going to be watering this one down, and I'll show you why or tell you why here in a second, into this entire pot, and out of this pot, I'll probably get anywhere from like 8 to 12, because I really do like eating big bowls of this stuff every single day, or at least almost every single day of this stuff here. It's not really all that bad. So if I say, hey, look, if I'm going to eat like, 12 bowls of this stuff and I only got 10, that's about less than a gram of sugar per. Not bad at all. Now, real quick, if you really like luscious and unctuous and just super velvety, rich desserts, right? Let's say you like custards or ice creams or whatever. Regardless of the dessert, there's always 2 key components that make all desserts work. Okay, and that's going to be something with a fat content, right? High fat content, whether it's a cake or a pie, right? Like look at what's in the crust, right? Like usually a bunch of shortening or whatever. So we've got this is the fat. And because we can't have sugar, I'm using this, okay? Some stevia, okay? Now, naturally, some super crazy, I wouldn't even say crazy, but it's just, kind of hippie-ish, or not even hippie-ish, but you know how some people get crazy with food or whatever. Obviously, with any sort of, sweetener, there's always going to be pros and cons, right? Look, my only 2 common sense are going to be here. Look, if you're eating like, ice cream and ho-hos, I think, a little bit of stevia is probably going to be your last thing that you're going to worry about, right? Typically for me, I usually just top the stuff at the end, okay? Bingo. Now, let's get to this stuff here. You might be thinking to yourself like, Dave, it's like, okay, cool. Like maybe I don't want the super rich stuff or whatever. No worries. Now for me too, I would actually agree with you, because for me, I actually water this stuff down. However, some people like it super just velvety, right? Which is totally cool too. I will do that once in a while too, whenever I'm feeling fancy. When I'm not, sometimes I'll just use this. Okay, so look at this one here, 5 per, right? It's got 5 total grams of fat, and we've got only 1 gram of carbohydrate. Now imagine that, right? So let's say we take this monkey, dump it in there. By the time I put the water in there and fill this thing up, I mean, what is that, like a half a gram of sugar? High five. The cool thing about these key pieces here, let me show you something. Between this, okay, and this, or not even this, like really just this and water, okay, is that you now have a really easy foundation for all kinds of different desserts. For example, I'm recording this right now in September, right? It's fall, okay? We're getting these fall flavors, fall spice, boom. Right? At the same time, hey, let's say it's spring and you want to do the new strawberries that are coming out super, super fresh, right? It's a low carbohydrate fruit. You have no problem with strawberries. When you test yourself, it looks, super tasty. It's super unctuous. And you're like, yes, I want some chia seeds with that strawberry on top. Bingo. Okay. So anyways, let's get to work. Let's put this stuff together. And I'll just show you just how easy it is. So for me personally, because I eat so much of this stuff, I don't even measure it. I just kind of eyeball it. Okay, I just do everything by feel and by taste. Really, I believe that's kind of like the easiest way that we should all kind of like learn how to eat, to be totally honest, is because that's kind of the way that we've all learned to eat anyway, right? So we've got that. Now, quick thing with the cacao powder, okay? Because it is unsweetened, okay? Some people will say, it tastes earthy. Look, that's just a fancy way of saying it tastes like dirt, okay? So I start really low, and then obviously if this is your first time making this stuff, start light and then naturally work your way up. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna do a little bit more. All right, that looks cool with me. Now, here's, hold on, one small thing. I'm not gonna do the pumpkin spice. I'm going classic cinnamon. Okay, if you like measurements, okay, I eyeballed about 3 cups of this stuff, about a quarter cup to a half a cup, or about a third cup of this, okay, and then that stuff there, I'd almost say probably about a third to close to a half a cup of this stuff here. Okay. Yeah, or actually no, probably a little bit more. I'd say a little over a half a cup. Okay. And then there's one small trick. Watch this. The secret to an even mixture. Okay. I got this from, I think it was from baking. People that do baking or whatever, is mix the dry ingredients first before you put any liquids in there. All right. So this is just going round and round. Super simple. Okay. Try to get into those corners and then just make sure there's no dry patches in there. And then what I'm doing is, as I'm stirring this stuff around, I'm looking for places where there might be like heaps of either cinnamon or cacao. And I'm just making sure I'm just breaking that stuff down. Super simple, right? Kind of like what we used to do in the sandbox. All right, there we go. Now, if you want to get super nerdy, okay, and you want some more antioxidants, okay, and you want the benefits of looking like you shop at Whole Foods, but you don't want to either wear like baggy earth tone clothing or like pay $9 for like a pound of chicken, you can also add some of this stuff. This is green tea concentrate, 100% optional, but yeah, I'm going to be a nerd and throw that in there too. Water. Woo! A little aggressive on the water. Just like when it was dry, okay, the secret is just like when it was dry, make sure that you're feeling around as you stir the stuff up. There we go. And you can totally feel it more than anything. Awesome. Now this stuff, once it's nicely incorporated, you just got to basically cover it and park it in the fridge, usually overnight. The longer, the better. Okay. And if it comes out a little tight, which is how I kind of like it, awesome. If you like it looser, you can always put a little more liquid in there. If you like it tighter, you can always add a little more chia seeds in there and then naturally let it sit again. That simple. Oh, you know what? One of the absolute best things that I absolutely love about this chia seed pudding is this, okay? Because I'm using cinnamon, okay, which is hands down one of the most powerful things that I love for type 2 diabetics, okay, is that I not only have it mixed in, I not only put it on top, okay, this is dessert, okay? I'm literally controlling my blood sugar with dessert. How crazy is that? Right? One of my favorite desserts ever. The cool thing about that is that whenever I go to a new restaurant or something and I don't know what to expect, right? Or if I'm going to a restaurant where I know that there's a bunch of temptation around, okay, like Temptation Island up in here, right? If I know that that's the case, one of the best secrets that I personally use is I will have a bowl of this stuff before I leave, okay? That way, if I'm going to a new place where I don't know where something is, or we're going to like a pasta restaurant and I don't want to be the one weird guy, you know what I mean? Just weirding out because I don't know what's on the menu or I don't go like take the time to look it up or whatever, no big worries, right? I use this to go ahead and put some stuff in there. Naturally, if I go there and they have like a chicken dish or a fish dish or like, a beef dish that I end up liking and it's not has anything to do with like, pasta or whatever, it's like, maybe like a protein and vegetable, cool. When I was first diagnosed, if you would have ever told me, DK, especially when I was struggling, all the times that I was struggling, you're like, D, one of the easiest shortcuts that you'll probably ever have to controlling your blood sugar is cinnamon chocolate pudding. I'd be like, dude, shut up. Right? I'd be like, shut your face. Well, you got to give it a shot because now I need to shut my face because I'm going to stuff it. Okay, so yeah, give it a shot. Play with the flavoring and you just might be amazed at what you could do. This is a dessert you can eat all year round, right? Try a lot of the local, low sugar fruits and stuff like that. Work really, really well. Who knew? Drive your blood sugar down. Dessert. All day. And again, this is like one of my favorite insurance policies. If I know I'm going to go out and eat somewhere crazy or whatever, or I'm going to go to like a restaurant where I don't know where the food is, or high likelihood that I might just go sideways, awesome way to get a little bit of a filler in, but at the same time play a little bit of defense along with getting some cinnamon in. I hope that serves you well. Look, if you want to see how I have used other things just like this to completely free myself from dieting, and not only that, really just kind of go from, the token fat kid, part of the fat jokes, all this other stuff, to now being able to completely turn everything around. I was the guy that was not only diagnosed type 2 diabetic, my provider at the time told me that if I didn't change anything, I was about 12 months away from starting dialysis, okay? How I'm now able to control my blood sugar 100% drug-free, eating a lot of foods that I already love, right? At the same time, you'll also see how I lost my first 75 pounds without drugs, exercise, or any hardcore dieting whatsoever. You can get it for absolutely free at lifeovertype2.com. It's a free blood sugar challenge. If you, someone you know, a friend, a family member, or a coworker is a type 2 diabetic, and you'd like to give them maybe just some free resources so they can see how another type 2 diabetic had turned it around, I'm absolutely honored. Because look, I'll tell you right now, here's the mission, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I sincerely believe the faster we help one another and lift one another up, the faster we're saving lives. The faster we're saving lives, the faster we're saving families. And the faster we're saving families, the faster we change the world together. So until next time, you can go ahead, sign on to Life Over Type 2. It's a 21-day free, absolutely free blood sugar challenge. I'll see you on the inside. And let me get back. Let me just record. Oh, you know what? Oh, chicka-boo! Okay, so anyways, what was I saying? Yes, okay, here we go. Are you still here? Oh, dude, look, I promise. Just go ahead and hit the subscribe button, right? Hit the little bell notifications. That way, you get new love as I release it. Okay, you'll be one of the first to know. At the same time, if you haven't already, dude, you shouldn't be here. Go to Life Over Type 2, and I promise you'll get 1,000,000 times more love there. All right, I'll see you in the next one.